how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into the final regular season Sunday of Coaching Company here live on YouTube, on social media. On weekdays, we are live on the Stadium Network, but on the weekends, we are right here. I encourage you to subscribe, like, share the show as we continue to grow one step at a time. Now, today, historically in the NFL, by the way, I am the coach. Happy New Year, all of you, if I haven't seen you already. Normally, Week 18 has kind of been a punt on a lot of different games, but the NFL kind of changed the schedule. They made it more division heavy on Week 17 and Week 18. So we do have several games today that either head up, mean a lot, or for incentives, mean a lot, or for positioning and seeding means a lot. So we got a lot to get to. We have our best bets. We've got games and also those said incentives that for several players today, there's a lot of money on the line for not a lot of work. We'll explain all of that, and it might help you with some of your prop bets as well. But in the meantime, I can't do this by myself. It's time. Let's beat the books. All right, my usual crew that's here on a Sunday morning. Say good morning to our numbers guy for a reason, Rafael Esparza. Happy Week 18 Sunday, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, family. It's a little sad today. The last NFL regular season, maybe our last NFL Sunday show. These shows, and especially the Monday night shows, I love them. I look at them as the 3 L's. I laugh, I learn, and you guys make me live a lot longer. So thank you guys.
Don't get soft on me on a Sunday morning, but I feel exactly the same way. But we got a lot of work. Ahead of us, even on Sunday mornings. I think that we're having an earthquake right now. I really do.
That'd be two. On
That would
air.
be two. That would be two. That is so bizarre. I apologize, everybody. It's like everything's shaking right now. Wow. I think we've stopped now. That is crazy. All right. Now, this man today, his team has, they're already in the playoffs, so you don't have to worry about that. But seeding, very, very important. And I think keeping the momentum going from the Windy City. Let's say good morning to our man, Mikey P. Mikey P, happy New Year to you. Oh, no, come on. Come on.
Good morning, Coach. Sorry about that. Sorry. Clearly, my microphone wanted Week 18 off, but the Bears don't take a week off. Listen, this is a massive Sunday for me as a fan. Caleb Williams on the brink of history, not only breaking the franchise single-season record, but possibly the first ever 4,000-yard passer in Bears history. It's a big game today.
It's a really, really big game today. I don't think anybody would have thought, Mikey, that before the season started, that in Week 18, it would be your Bears and not the Lions that would be playoff bound. And the Lions now, they've got a lot of thinking to do. And it's going to tell us a lot today in that game in particular, just how professional they truly are, because they have nothing to play for. And the whole Dan Campbell, we love rah-rah kind of stuff, that's over. And we'll get to that game in a second. All right, gentlemen. We want to start with our best bets because it's very, very dicey, Rafael, on a Week 18 Sunday to just jump into a game because the spreads are all over the place. The totals are all over the place. You've got to be very, very educated on every single game. So I'll ask this for the last time in the regular season on a Sunday. Who wants all the Mikey? You're so slow, big dog. So slow. Rafael, my guy, start us off.
Kind of wanted to go first because I kind of wanted to educate first. Be very careful with some of these games because even though all these players are out, perfect example, the Eagles, all the Eagles are sitting everyone out. The books are still going to get Eagle money because they're the Super Bowl champs. That's why they're 4.5. Just because you may think you have a good number, I'm going to take the plus points because of what's happening. Just sit back, relax, and look at what you want to bet. Don't just bet because of your heart. So be very careful in Week 18. Same thing with player prop bets. Think before you hit that submit because some of these players, some of these teams don't really care, or they do care too much. So be very cautious. That's why I'm going with two teams that actually have meaning. Give me the Atlanta Falcons -3. I did what Coach does on Sundays a lot. I bought a half a point and I took it down
Ah!
to -3. I'm really impressed with the way the Atlanta Falcons have been playing. And who's watching this game more intense than I am? Tampa Bay and Carolina. They'll be watching this game very intense. Saints winning 4 straight, covering 5 straight. But they're missing a lot of key players, especially on offense. Olave, blood clot, scary, had it, wish him well. But he's not going to be on the field for the Saints. I think Atlanta, who have 3 guys looking for new contracts, maybe Cousins, Bijan, and Betts. I think Atlanta Falcons steamroll the Saints today. And I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, hold off on taking the +3.5. Books told me last night they can see 4 and 4.5 because they're going to see, ooh, Lamar Jackson's playing. Ooh, Pittsburgh beat them in Baltimore. I'm going to take the Ravens. King Henry rushed for a gazillion yards last week. I'm going to take the Ravens. If you like the Steelers like I do, wait for the +4 or 4.5. This will go higher.
Great information. I do want to be accurate, though. They've only won 3 in a row, not 4 in a row. But
Ooh.
the Falcons.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Saints.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's okay. They've scored 29, 26, and 27 in those games. So maybe a team total something to look at for the Falcons also, Raphael?
Yes, I agree. I agree because the Saints' defense is also hurting as well.
Okay. If you are in the chat or you're sitting at home saying, why does this game matter? Why do we keep talking about this game mattering? And we're actually going to get into the game in a second. Because very quietly, with some of these late season wins from the Falcons, the Tampa Bay win, the Rams win, they've now gotten their record to a point that if there's a 3-way tie, if the Falcons win today, you'll have 3 teams at 8 and 9. Then it goes to a different tiebreaker, which the Panthers would win, not the Bucks. So the Bucks want the Saints to win today because then they would win that tiebreaker. So it's 2 different tiebreakers. It's very, very complex. All right, Mikey P, my guy, coming over to you. What do you got?
Final Sunday, Coach. I've got 4 plays for you, mostly looking at player props. In that Saints-Falcons game, give me Bijan Robinson over 127.5 rush and receiving yards. Fun fact here, I believe the number is 145 for Bijan Robinson. If he gets 145, he'll be the 3rd running back in NFL history to eclipse 2,400 scrimmage yards in a single season. So I'd like to see Bijan Robinson hit that. Give me the Cowboys -3.5. I don't know if Dak Prescott is playing. If he is, he could be the first Cowboys quarterback to ever lead the NFL in passing yards in a single season. Either way, it's Joe Milton. If it's Dak Prescott, I love the Cowboys -3.5. And then in the late Sunday night game, Aaron Rodgers over 206.5 passing yards. I know there's no DK Metcalf, but I'm a Bears fan, and I've seen Aaron Rodgers when he absolutely has to have it, and I believe tonight is one of those nights. And finally, a guy nobody knows, unless you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, Tanner McKee. Yes, I'm telling you, Coach, Week 18 is a perfect spotlight for guys like Tanner McKee who could be looking to become a backup or get a chance to start somewhere else next year. I'm taking him over 1.5 passing touchdowns at +115.
And who does he play for?
For the Eagles.
For the Eagles. Very interesting. Wow, you're going to go over 1.5 for the backup quarterback for the Eagles. Wow, you're feeling something right there in that gut. Little gut feeling over there. All right, I'm going to go next. If you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do it these 2. Saints Falcons over 43.5. Now, this game does matter to the Bucks and the Panthers, but it doesn't really matter to the Saints and the Falcons. So as we watch both teams the last several weeks, they've been playing really good football, both of them. In fact, the last 5 totals for the Falcons look like this. 51, 45, 57, 46, 51. That's 5 straight times they've gone over this number. The Saints, a very welcome dance partner. So let's take that over 43.5. Then, yes, I'm taking it under. Yes, I'm taking it in my beloved Chiefs game. Because if I didn't have at least one play on the final game in Travis Kelce's career, I would never forgive myself. But this game's going to suck. This game's not going to be fun to watch. You've got backup quarterbacks all over the place. Like number 3, I believe DG has a Hollywood Brown anytime touchdown. We'll talk about that, I guess. But this game's not going to have a lot of points. I can see 13-9, 13-10, something like that. Real quick, let's hit on DG's because Hollywood Brown, anytime touchdown, he plays for the Chiefs at +350. My eyes are so bad. But he also has Tony Pollard over his rushing yards. Why would he be playing Tony Pollard, who played for the Titans? Mikey, we're going to get into the incentives, but Tony Pollard is very incentivized today. The question is, Will the Titans be incentivized to give him enough carries to get to this number?
That's a very interesting question, Coach, because Tajay Spears, the backup running back, he actually helps the Titans offense be a little more faster on the field. And we've seen the Titans play like they have nothing to lose. So I think the Titans will look at their game plan and go, who's going to give us the best chance to win? And it's not always Tony Pollard. So if he gets shut down, I could see him finding the bench.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. We'll get more into that in a second because there's a lot more that goes into that game as well. So Soupy sends in 3 plays today, guys. Bears -3.5. There's only 6 games at 1, and I believe 7 games at 425. They do this. It's kind of a weird thing, but they try to get the teams that matter playing at the same time so they cannot scoreboard watch. So the Bears are playing. Where is that game at? They're at 425. So this is a late game. Then the Bengals -7.5. Raphael, why would he not buy? That game is one of the 1:00 games. Why wouldn't he buy that half a point down to 7? Do you think?
Soupy? I don't know. I wish I had a better answer.
Yeah, the answer is as simple as that. It's Soupy. I would buy the half a point and lay the 120 if it was me. Man, the Browns just beat the Steelers. They just beat the Steelers, and the Bengals are not very good. I would if I was in the coaches challenge mode this morning, I'd be throwing a red flag. I do not think they win by 7.5. And then Jaylen Warren, 2+ receptions. He's playing as well. And Mikey, Jaylen Warren plays for who?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that is a nighttime game, Sunday night football tonight, where it all matters. All right, take a screenshot. We will recap the best bets at the end of the show. But those were, we got 2, 4, 6, 10, 13. If we go 10-3, we will do a Wheel of Doom tomorrow. By the way, we're renaming the Wheel of Doom, guys, as you know. And we had a very, very good suggestion. However, it is very Coach and Bro-esque and not really Coach and Company-esque. So I'm toying with, do we have 2 names for the wheel? I don't know. What would you think, Mikey, on the wheel? Do we have 2 names for the Wheel of Doom, or what would you do?
I would do 2 different names. I mean, the landmark that you guys are between you and Vince Russo on Coach and Bro, it deserves its own brand name over there. So
the one that we're thinking about going with is Coach and Brolette, or Coach and it's something with the name involved. We had one of our viewers send it in on the Twitter. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
By the way, can I just point out that I get very bored when I'm traveling. And so I like to mess with people on social media. It's a lot of fun.
No.
Yeah, shocking. Especially wrestling fans who think wrestling is something to be taken seriously. So yesterday I did a little experiment. And there's these reporters in the world of wrestling. We'll talk more about it on our wrestling shows. But not only did I increase my followers by 300 yesterday, 300, but I put out a tweet with some information in it to see how long it would take other people to take 2 accounts that have over 250,000 followers retweeted my information within 5 minutes, which means they could not have double-checked it at all. And that was my whole point. Journalists do not exist in wrestling, do they, Mikey? You're a journalist that covers MMA.
Yeah, no, they don't in wrestling. But Coach, can you teach me your ways? Because I don't know if you saw my Twitter, but on Friday I tweeted about, and this is a serious one, the kid from Rice in the bowl game who got carted off. And
I saw that.
I had like 35,000 views on my tweet, and I was just like, are you guys looking for the destruction of a human? Like, why is everyone
No.
this tweet?
No. Here's what happens is because I've had probably 4 or 5 that have gone viral the last 2 or 3 months. It's about the accounts that repost them. So it's not about people coming to your page and watching them. There's probably 4 or 5 large accounts that have seen your post. They reposted it, and then that's how it goes viral, not from your account. So because there's certainly, I've had over 1 million views on a couple of my videos in November. There's not 1 million people coming to my page to watch that. So, but good for you. People now know the name Mikey Pendleton. And a horrible injury at the same time. Very interesting. All right, gentlemen, we got our best bets in the can. It is the world we live in, isn't it? There's a lot of people that make money off of that kind of stuff that have started Instagram pages just with that kind of stuff on it. It's bananas. I prefer babies and animals. Those are my 2 things. Babies and animals. All right, let's get into it, guys. The games today, there's only one game at 1 o'clock that, in my opinion, even matters. Everything that matters happens at 4:25. This is the one game, Saints and the Falcons. It's going down in Hotlanta. No Chick-fil-A today. The Falcons, the current number is 3.5. Raphael, you already bought it down to 3. The total sitting at 43.5. I love the over in this one. So, Raphael, since you have a best bet on this game, let's start with you. The Falcons, for whatever reason, have been very, very inspired as of late. But you live in the Big Easy. You live just blocks away from the Superdome. The Saints found a quarterback, and they found some mojo as well. So I think you put these two together, I think today's going to be a very spirited football game.
I wish I could say yes, but with no Olave, which is Shuck's probably favorite target since he's been behind center and missing some key pieces on defense, I see the three-headed monster in Atlanta, who have been playing some of their best ball. Cousins, Robinson, and Pitts. I just think it'd be too much for the Saints defense. I can see Atlanta winning by double digits. And Kirk Cousins, he knows there's going to some big jobs are going to be open up there for maybe QB1. It's an audition for him. And so is Betts to maybe try to get out of Atlanta and Bijan. Best running back if it's not CMC that nobody really talks about.
Yeah, he's the guy that would really he looks at the big perspective. If you're a young cat out there right now, you're thinking, we're out of the playoffs. Let's just go out there. But Kirk Cousins is not like that. And we've seen that, Mikey, the last 3 games, down 14 to Tampa, and they scored 15 in the fourth quarter to win. The Rams come in, and the Rams are playing for a number 1 seed in the NFC. They beat them. And for whatever reason, his leadership is amazing. I love Raphael's analysis today. I think the Falcons do go out there and cover, but I think the Saints can score enough on this team. So that's why, for me, the over was the play.
The over's the play for me as well. And both teams are playing motivated football. Neither the Panthers or the Buccaneers deserve a shot in the playoffs. Can we just all admit that? Like, if you guys really needed to, hold your hopes on one of these two teams, maybe just beat the Saints, either one of you, in the last month or so. I don't know. It's a simple concept. When I look at this game, though, I look at who's actually more inspired in Week 18. The Saints are happy. They have their coach. They likely have their QB1 moving forward, whereas Kirk Cousins, as Raphael said, probably playing for a new job. But here's the other thing. Raheem Morris. I think Raheem Morris is on the hot seat if they lose this game, even though they played good football over the past month. Too many questionable calls throughout the season. So Falcons, their head coach needs it. Their quarterback needs it. I like the Falcons to cover. I like the over in this one.
Can we just be honest about a couple of things? Raheem Morris never should have been a head coach in the National Football League. Not the first time, not the second time. Now, he's a great defensive coach, according to everybody. So who am I to say that he's not? But there's a huge difference between coordinator and head coach. And we've seen that in a lot of instances. This is one of them. Tampa, another situation. Detroit, another situation. So the Falcons, I think we all agree, Falcons -3, the over is the play from the show, correct?
Yep.
Can we agree on that? All right, awesome. All right, let's move on to the late games today. There's a lot of 425 games that matter. And this first one, it's a little fascinating to me because the Buffalo Bills, they have stumbled several times in this season. They're going to be a wild card team. A lot of people thought in August, guys, that the Bills would be the number 1 seed and be the team to beat. There's still a lot of people that believe that they are the team to beat. But there are reports, Raphael, out of Buffalo that Josh Allen, who is battling a few injuries, is going to sit out against the New York Jets. But yet the number is still over a touchdown. If the Bills lose and the Texans and the Chargers win, they could be the 7th seed in the AFC. Is it worth the gamble to not play Josh Allen to be the 7th seed, or does it not matter 5, 6, or 7? Come on! I had to do it one more time. Go ahead, Raphael.
This one's intriguing because this is telling me that he is really hurt. Because why would you sit and not go into the playoffs? And it doesn't matter, wild card, number 1 seed, 2 seed, with any momentum into this. You want to go in with momentum. We've all seen it before when the New York Giants won the Super Bowl. They had the most momentum coming in. We've seen UConn basketball win national championships because of momentum. So this is telling me that Josh Allen is really hurt. Now, you're playing the New York Jets. That's probably one of the main reasons why you're sitting out as well. I just think this number is too high for a quarterback that Mikey knows too much information about with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback for Buffalo. This is a stay away game for me, but this is just telling me I guess Allen is really hurt.
Do you know that there's a lot of stay-at-home moms out there who know who Mitch Trubisky is? He has become a star in the Progressive TV commercial.
Yes.
Those are great. Those are great. Who would have ever thought? Let me just tell you what the Jets have done, Mikey, the last 4 games. All losses, 24, 28, 23, 32. They have not lost a game by less than 23 points in the last 4 weeks. Is that maybe a reason why the Bills are willing to gamble on this thing?
Well, that's a reason. Let's see. Aaron Glenn being the coach is a reason. Brady Cook being the quarterback. Yeah, Brady Cook being the quarterback. And the fact that I believe the year was 1933, the last time a team finished an NFL season with 0 interceptions. And that's what the Jets are on.
How is that possible? Oh
I
my
have an
God!
idea,
Sorry, I
Coach.
didn't mean to ruin your
That's
flow.
the best stats in the NFL, period.
Maybe trading Sauce Gardner had something to do with it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. But I think we're looking at Aaron Glenn possibly joining the ranks of the Adam Gases of the world in New York Jets history. He could be one and done. It would not shock me at all. So Mitch Trubisky, you want to earn another 1-year contract? Hell, just play the Jets in week 18, Mitch. I'm sure you'll have a great game. I'm looking at 230 for Mitch. Probably another 20 on the ground. The Bills will cover. They'll handle this one easily.
Did you just say that Mitch Trubisky is going to throw for 230 yards today?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Wow. Is he ever?
Guys,
that's the
guys,
question.
you get a touchdown game, Raphael.
By the way, we did get confirmation from the chat queen. It was an earthquake. We did have an earthquake out here today, a few minutes ago. I wonder what the odds are, Raphael, to have 2 earthquakes while we're live on the show 2 different times.
I'll do research on that because I've been doing weather research. How many earthquakes, 6-point higher for 2026 tornadoes? I've been doing a lot of weather stuff the past 48 hours. So I'll let you know sometime today.
Man, if only there was a way to predict it, or if there was a place to be in the prediction market, perhaps. That would be kind of fun, don't you guys think?
100%.
Would that be cool?
I would break that website. I would break that website. So much stuff coming out of my head.
Wow. Maybe I'll have to look into that in the next couple of days. You just never
You're the
know.
man, coach. You have connections everywhere.
I do. All right, game number 3, and this is Mikey's game. So, Mikey, you're going to start with this because the Chicago Bears are going to win the NFC North. We know that. However, going in with momentum, I think it's important. They've already announced that they will play the starters today, and you need to educate our audience on exactly what they're playing for, their seeding, and then on the other side, who would have ever thought that the Detroit Lions would come into this week at 8-8, out of the playoffs, and all of a sudden their beloved head coach Dan Campbell, at least in my opinion, is on the hot seat. But let's start with your Bears. Educate me.
All right. So if the Bears win today, they will automatically earn the number 2 seed, and they will play the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round at Soldier Field. That is with a win or a Commanders win over the Eagles. Now, if the Bears lose and the Eagles win, the Bears drop to number 3, and they will play either the Rams or the 49ers at Soldier Field, I believe, depending on how those 2 games play out. So that's the seeding purposes. Props to the NFL schedule makers, though, Coach, because they wanted this game to matter. Little did they know Dan Campbell would take care of the Lions' playoff chances by himself. For a Bears fan like myself, this is a huge game. The Lions put up a 31-point whooping on the Bears in week 2, but these 2 teams far different than they were when they first met. Ben Johnson wants revenge. Caleb Williams has a chance of making history in 2 separate ways as a Bears quarterback, and this defense needs to get right. The Lions have a great offense. The Bears defense needs to get right. I tip my cap to Ben Johnson for playing the starters in this one.
I think you have to. If they were the 49ers, who have had a great 5 to 8 year run, might be a little bit different. But they're not the 49ers. And these are not players that have had experience playing in big-time games. You give somebody 2 weeks off. We see what happens in college football. NFL, exactly the same thing. It's also a mojo thing. It's a confidence thing. And I love how Ben Johnson coaches. You coach a certain way. Now, you mentioned the defense has to get right. 42 points they gave up last week to a San Francisco team that couldn't even score. Did they have a touchdown last night?
They did not.
A horrible game.
Oh, horrible game last night. So you give up 42 to a team that couldn't even score on the Seattle Seahawks. To me, that's a problem. That's a problem. You definitely have to get right. But as far as the numbers, Raphael, are concerned, this total is very robust at 50.5. The Bears playing their starters, absolutely. But how aggressive are they going to be? I think they're just going to try to get in, get out, and play with confidence. Your take.
Yeah, I lean actually towards the under in this game because normally if you look at the Lions, two-headed monster in the backfield, wide receivers, but that two-headed monster has been MIA the past month. They've been doing absolutely nothing, especially Jahmyr Gibbs on rushing and receiving yards. So if they're struggling and the Bears want to prove something that their defense is improving going into the playoffs, I just don't see many points being scored. And you're right. Let's say if the Bears go up, let's say 10 points or more. You think they're really going to push it all in to beat them on the last game and try not to suffer any injuries? I can see if the Bears go up early in the third quarter, fourth quarter by double digits, they're just going to run the ball and let the clock tick.
Yeah, I think you're right. I also think that matchups matter. And Ben Johnson would never admit who he wants to play. But, Mikey, I'll come over to you. Who do you think would be the best matchup in the wild card round for the Bears? Would it be the Packers? Would it be the 49ers? Or would it be the Rams?
I think from a coaching perspective, obviously the political answer is you'll play anybody. I think to a point, Ben Johnson would love a rematch against the San Francisco 49ers. I know the city of Chicago listened in February or March, whenever it was, and heard Ben Johnson say, I really love beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. Well, you've done it once, Ben. You want to do it twice? Let's do it in the playoffs. So, and for me, Coach, I just want to jump in on the total. I think a Bears team total could actually be in play here as well, because I understand get in and get out, but I think Ben Johnson is a little bit of a Joe Mazzulla type in the NBA, a little cerebral assassin, if you will. You're not going to buy in on everything Ben Johnson's doing, but I think we'll see more trick plays today than normal, and I think we'll let him see Caleb Williams let it fly today as well.
See, I just really disagree with that, but this is your squad. This is your squad, so you know it better than I not that Caleb won't be given the green light, but I just have that Eagles game in my head right now where they just turned around and just handed it off one time after another. It was gash, 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. That's what I have in my head, but I could be wrong. Interesting. Team total. Do we know what that is right now? What the team total is?
I do not. I just thought it would be a good play. Maybe I should have done the research before giving
No, Raphael.
27.5.
27.5. So you have to get 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Think about it. That seems like a high team total to me.
I like the Lions team total under at 23.5.
They've been horrible lately. My God, have they been awful lately. If I watch Jared Goff throw the ball into the ground one more time, when his guy is 5 yards away, my head may pop off my shoulders. But I'm not a Lions fan. If you're a Lions fan right now, you're like, man, that's all we got? That was our dynasty? 2 years? That's it? I don't think Dan Campbell's going to be gone, but it would not surprise me if he was at all. All right, gentlemen, let's move to game number 4. And this one matters a lot to one team because one team will have their starting quarterback. The other will not. One team has a chance to be the number 1 seed. One team does not, but that other team is already in the playoffs, which is why Justin Heber is not going to be in the lineup today for the Chargers. So all 3 of the wildcard teams, Raphael, are at 11-5. The Texans, the Bills, and the Chargers. The Broncos, on the other hand, they have an opportunity to be the number 1 seed, to have a bye week next week. They have probably become the most unorthodox 13-3 team we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League. And look at the number. Are you kidding me? 2 touchdowns in Week 18. Your take.
This is a tough one because let's face it, Denver's usually coming from behind or they don't even score that many points. So being 2 touchdown favorite is a risk I don't want to take to lay Denver. Denver wins this game. Don't get me wrong, but I can see them winning by 10 points or less. Chargers, yes, they have Herbert sitting out in this game. But again, I think Denver's just going to run the ball. They're not going to let Bo Nix throw it all over the field. They just don't want to get hurt. I can see a low-scoring game. That's why the total is 37.5. I have Denver winning by 10.
Wow, that's a very yuck number. 10 right now when you're talking about a 14-point spread. I think that for me, this is a complete stay away. Mikey, what would you do if you had to play this game? What would your analysis be?
If I had to play this game, I'm going all
Yeah.
Broncos, coach, because Sean Payton is on the sidelines for the Denver Broncos. The problem is not just looking at the Denver Broncos offense and whether or not they're going to let Bo Nix go out and play backyard football, but Trey Lance is on the other side for the Chargers at quarterback. The Broncos have one of the best defenses in all of the NFL, and that defense can score. I think you make life hard on Trey Lance. You're looking at a pick six, possible forced fumbles, and the other thing we don't talk enough about, field position. And I think Trey Lance is going to be playing with his back towards his own end zone most of the day, setting up favorable position for the Broncos. I like them to cover here.
How many people do you think if you lined up, not like casual people walking down the street, but actual people that watch NFL games, how many of them do you think know that Trey Lance plays for the San Diego Chargers?
3, including Trey's parents.
They probably still think he plays for the Cowboys.
Man, this guy was supposed to be a can't miss. This guy was supposed to be the next guy. He was going to be the Division I AA savior, the face. They all could come in the league and play. That was 3 teams ago, I think. My God. Drafted by San Francisco in the first round, and what has he done? Absolutely nothing. All right, gentlemen. Now, the Broncos have, I believe it's an 82% chance of getting that number 1 seed for obvious reasons. But if they, for some reason, Raphael, slip up, guess who could come in the back door? The New England Patriots, which begs the question. You've got a quarterback who is the overwhelming betting favorite to win the league's MVP. If Drake May doesn't play, has an average game, bad game because of the circumstances, will that hurt his chances of becoming an incredibly surprising MVP?
I think he just needs to have an okay game and he gets the MVP, because we saw Stafford and everyone else just drop the ball when they could have easily won it. And Drake May's been the best quarterback all season long. And who would have thought, again, the Patriots would have double-digit wins and could be the number 1 seed when the season started? I didn't. I was actually looking at maybe their total season wins under a bit. I checked my notes a couple of days ago, and I couldn't believe when I saw my whole handwriting saying, wow, I like the Patriots under total season wins. What a doofus I was. I just think they're the best team coming in right now with all the momentum. I like New England. If there's a big cover in this game, I think it's New England and Miami, not Denver.
Wow. Okay. You know what's crazy about the if you bet the under for the season wins, you guys know how much I hate futures because it's like a blinking red light in your account for 4 months. Can you imagine if you bet that? Because they don't take it out of your account until the season's over. So it's going to sit there as they have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wins, and you bet under 6 or under
Some
six and
books
a
pay
half.
out some books pay out the over if you hit.
Oh, mine doesn't. Mine will, any season long play, mine will sit it there until first, just in case something happens crazy. Mikey, let me come over to you because it's fascinating when you have a really big individual award at stake. But the Pats and Mike Vrabel, who's such an incredibly good head coach, they probably look at it and say, you know what? And this game is, and this is what's cool about it. Let me look here real quick, just to double check. Both games at the same time makes a lot of sense. So if the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, do they pull Drake May or do they adjust a little bit of their game plan?
Well, first, I disagree. I do believe that Drake May and the Patriots will play the whole game, and I think it's going to be foot on the gas pedal, coach. Week 18 for me is not just about the individual talent on the field. It all comes down to coaching. And I'm not just saying that because you're the host of this show. I do believe the elite coaches in the NFL know when these games matter and they know how to get their teams right for the playoffs. Mike Vrabel is that same type of coach I just talked about with Sean Payton and to an extent, Ben Johnson. Mike Vrabel has been there, done that. He's won Super Bowls. I think he knows he has to get his young quarterback right. And I'll go as far as to say I don't even know if Gillette Stadium will show the Broncos score. Something we've seen in the NFL this year where the stadiums are not showing the score. So I think that keeps the focus on the field, and I think the Patriots cover.
You guys know me. And you know I love me a little chaos, and I love the possibilities. There is a possibility, although remote, that uh, if things shake out a certain way, the Patriots could play the Bills next week. Could play the Bills next week. I don't think it's going to happen because that would probably be a 2-7 matchup. But if the Bills lose, Chargers Texans win, then that's exactly what we would have next week. For the Patriots, Raphael, who do you think in the first round would be the best matchup for them?
Wow. I think they want to play anybody because how they're rolling, and they don't care who they're playing. I think they probably don't want to play Buffalo. I think if they have maybe one Achilles heel or one don't want to go with Josh Allen in the playoffs, I think they don't want to play Buffalo. Everyone else, I think they're ready to go just because how they prepare themselves all season long and winning games all season long. I'm more interesting to see, is this Mike McDaniel's last day as a Miami Dolphins head coach? This is going to be very interesting going on in Miami.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about that part of it yet. I really, really hadn't. By the way, the Patriots, the only loss they've had since September 21st was to the Bills, a game they
Yep.
were up 21-0 in. So they could have had no losses since then, and they could have swept the Bills twice, which would mean they would be in position to be the number one seed. So it still could be the Bills, Mikey, that are the reason the Patriots will not get the number one seed.
Yeah, and to answer the question, I think the Patriots and Chargers would be my most intriguing matchup. The one team you don't want to play if you're the Patriots is the Houston Texans. Right now,
No, 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 no,
that
no.
is the one team nobody wants to play right now. Is the Houston Texans. So Jaguars, Texans, sign me up for that. I would love to see that again. But I want to see Patriots, Chargers. So if we can have that work out that way, I think that's when we'll truly see the potential of Justin Herbert and Drake May.
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. By the way, the Texans are playing a 1:00 game at home against the Colts, who, by the way, they started the year 1-7, or excuse me, 7-1. They have now gone 1-7. I don't even know if that's ever been done before. I mean, that's hard to do. 7-1, 1-7. Interesting. Interesting. All right, gentlemen, the last game we're going to hit on, and it is all or nothing. It's not you win and you're this. It's you win and you're in. You lose, you're out. Lamar Jackson scheduled to be back. And numbers wise, percentage wise, the fact that this matters tonight is mind blowing. The fact that the Ravens were able to go to Green Bay and win last week, and the Steelers couldn't get past the Browns 13-6. The Browns. So, Raphael, let me start with you, because the Steelers and the sports books even believe that Pittsburgh is not a playoff team. They're the underdog, plus 3.5 at home against Lamar Jackson, who now all of a sudden, because of the football gods, has an opportunity to get his team into the dance. And we all know if you get into the party, that's all you got to do sometimes. You can come in and you can get the Super Bowl from any seed. But does this Ravens team have any kind of momentum whatsoever with Lamar Jackson under center?
I mean, yes, he's playing, but how healthy is he playing? He's been injured all season long, back, leg, shoulder, arms. I mean, he's the operation game right now. So that's why I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm trying to get as much points as popular. So people keep on betting the Ravens. I want 4 or 4.5. But I am very interested in the total. The last three meetings, the winner has scored 27 points or more. There was even a 34-point winner in this matchup. I think we're going to see points. I'm tired of people saying it's going to be a run-happy game. Yes, it's going to be a run-happy game, but keep an eye out for Kenneth Gainwell for Pittsburgh. And receiving, he's going to be the reason why we're going to forget that Metcalf is not on the field tonight. I think we're going to see a Pittsburgh Steelers put up points on the board. Yes, they barely scored last week, but we had weather and we had Brown's defense last week. I don't think the Ravens defense is not that good.
I'm glad you brought up DK Metcalf, because I doubt that he's sitting around blaming himself for this, but you could. Last week, you could make an argument that they would have beat the Browns if they had DK Metcalf, and he has been suspended. So it shocked me that, I don't know if you guys saw it this week, but the Pittsburgh Steelers took the guarantee and they left it. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
Mhm.
They left it. And Mikey, that tells me that whatever happened between Metcalf and that fan, that they back Metcalf in that situation. Is that what it told you?
Yeah, it also was a telling sign when that fool of a fan showed up in a suit and a backwards cap, I would have not only kept DK's guarantees, I probably would have doubled it if I was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I'm going to trust that guy, coach. Listen, I'm with Raphael here. I love the Steelers. One of my best bets is Aaron Rodgers over on passing yards. And it's not because there's no DK Metcalf. I think this is a game that Aaron Rodgers, more times than not, has been in this type of situation. Now, there's no Darnell Washington, one of their top tight ends. There's no DK Metcalf. But during the season, or right before the season, the Steelers acquired Jonnu Smith, the tight end for them from the Miami Dolphins. Jonnu Smith, in my opinion, will be a difference maker as a pass catcher in this game, especially if Roquan Smith is banged up there for Baltimore in the middle. I love the Steelers in this spot.
You guys know me. You know I love chaos. I love possibilities. There is a possibility that because whoever wins this game is going to be the 4 seed. We know that. So the 4 seed would play who, Raphael, next week? The 5 seed? Is that what it would be?
Yep.
So if it's the 5 seed, you could see the Ravens hosting, everybody say it with me, the Bills next week in Wild Card Weekend. So right now, if I'm the Bills, I'm like, how does this happen to us? How do we get the Pats or the Ravens or Jacksonville? I mean, the road for the Bills all of a sudden is very, very difficult.
I would say yes, but if you're any team in the AFC, you want to play the Ravens. Their defense has been awful all season long. And again, you're going to have a banged up Lamar Jackson in the wild card playoffs. So if you're anybody, if I'm the Bills, give me the Baltimore Ravens because we'll run wild on them. I would love to take Baltimore in the playoffs.
Wow. Do you agree with that, Mikey?
Yeah, I do. I'm not sold on the Baltimore Ravens. It was so funny in the middle of the season when the Steelers had a lead and the Ravens were like 2 games back in the standings. We're all, bet the Ravens. And hopefully no one took that advice because no matter who wins this division, I see an early exit. Even if I believe Aaron Rodgers shows up in big games, I think it's one and done here for the winner of the AFC North.
Man, to me, it's different. To me, it's if the Ravens win, I think they could do some damage. If the Steelers win, yeah, I really do. Just because Lamar Jackson is that type of a guy. Now, I'm not saying they will, Raphael. I'm saying they can because when he plays great football, he's electrifying. And if he decides to start running the ball again, which he hasn't done the second half of the year because of injury, and they've been trying to protect him, that changes the game. And I think when you get into the playoffs, all bets are off. You got to go out there and play your game. And his game is using his legs, which he hasn't done. So that's why I think. But I agree with you guys. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't want to chance it. I certainly wouldn't want to go to Baltimore to play a game, and that's what they would do. Baltimore is going to be guaranteed a home game if they win tonight. All right, guys, those are the games. We'll get to, for those of you just coming in, I know a lot of you come in throughout the show. We'll get to recapping our best bets here in a second. But the other fun part of Week 18 are incentives. And there are a lot of players that are playing for teams that are out of the playoffs that it doesn't matter, but it certainly matters to their bank account, to their wallet. So I wanted to hit on a few just so people can look at them and say, hey, listen, if you want to play their prop, if you want to play that they get it done, God bless you. And of course, we have the best producer in the game who made the sickest graphics that I've seen in a really, really long time. So let's start with the game between the Eagles and the Commanders. Because Mikey, Debo, he has a chance to get $400,000 richer. He already triggered $450 a week ago. But here's what he needs: 10 catches for $200K. And at least 93 receiving yards for another $200K. If you had to, which one do you think is more attainable?
Receiving yards. And I don't even think it's close. There's no, I mean, are you going to force feed him? You're going to run 7 wide receiver screen? That might be what Dan Quinn does, by the way. Dan Quinn's a player's coach kind of guy, and I believe Dan Quinn will do all he can. But if you're going to set up screens for Deebo Samuel or those little pitch passes from Marcus Mariota, I think we'll see 93 receiving yards well before we'll see 10 catches.
Can you imagine if they did do the little toss ahead thing as he's running across in motion 10 times today? That would be something. It would be embarrassing, but that would be something. Raphael, your take. Which one would you go with if you're playing one?
I'm thinking neither. I think the Washington's going to keep the 400,000 because his last time he had 90 yards was October 5th against the Chargers. He has not been used like we've seen Debo used all season long. I don't think he hits either of his incentives. Washington, you just gained $400,000.
I wonder if he is at all regretting not trying a little bit harder to work things out in San Francisco. I mean, when he went to Washington, it was a great situation. They were a playoff team. They've got a young quarterback, and they have absolutely laid an egg this entire season. So now he's going to be sitting exactly where we are sitting right now next week with us. Not on the show, actually, but kind of sitting at home. That'd be awesome.
Debo was going to be on the show.
Wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be amazing to have Debo on the show. All right, let's go to the Patriots game. Now, this is a team that it matters, and Hunter Henry is a tremendous tight end. And for him, he's got $250,000 on the line here. He needs 5 catches to get to 60. He needs 10 catches to get to 65. So, Mikey, first and foremost, can he get 5 catches today?
1 second, Chris. Let me just lock that in right now. Yes, Hunter Henry is getting 5 catches today, without a doubt. And I'll stand on that business. I believe Drake May knows what's on the line. This is a playoff team, and when your players have played above performance expectations this year, as Hunter Henry has, I think they're going to feed him, and I think they'll cash that 5 catches.
And now, to be clear, it's $250 for each one, so he could get to $500,000. Now, there's a lot of owners out there, Raphael, that will never admit to it, but they have instructed their coaches to bench players to save this kind of money. We've seen it in the past. Robert Kraft is not one of those owners. I believe he's the opposite of that. I believe he's the type of guy to call Mike Vrabel and say, hey, Mike, make sure he gets to at least 5 while we're still trying to win the game. What do you think?
Yeah, 5, I think it's easy. He's had 9 receptions his last 2 games. So I think 5, I penciled that one in. 10, if they do 10, that means everybody loves this kid in the locker room, and they're just throwing passes. We get 500,000. I think the 5 catches is a breeze. I don't see 10.
Yeah, 10 would be Puka Nacua-esque. You know, it would be absolutely phenomenal for any wide receiver or any tight end, for that matters. All right, let's go to the Bills game, because Dawson Knox, also a very, very good tight end. He is a guy that Josh Allen likes to go to a lot. The problem is Josh Allen will not be on the field tonight, Mikey. So here's what he needs: 6 catches, 7 receiving yards, or 1 touchdown to trigger his incentives. What is more can't believe I'm asked. What's more likely?
Mitch Trubisky finds Dawson Knox for an 8-yard touchdown pass, Coach.
Oh, there we go.
Him 6 times. I'm done, Sean McDermott. Do not throw to Dawson Knox 6 times on the field. Give me the receiving yards and the touchdown for sure.
That's the hardest thing, Raphael, to Mike's point, is when you have a backup quarterback, the game still matters to win, but yet you've got, and Dawson Knox is not a guy that makes $15-20 million. $300,000 is a lot of money. It really, really is, especially when you only need basically 1 catch to cover 2 of the 3 here. And I think you can get to 6. What do you think?
Ooh, this one looks like a 3-team parlay. I do think he hits all 3. I granted he hit 6 catches once this year, and that was against the Bengals defense. But he's going against the Jets defense today. Maybe he does get all 3. Receiving yards, touchdown, yes. I would love to see him get all 3. That'd be fantastic.
It really, I like the videos, guys, when a player gets it and then they celebrate it because they know that they got it. That's awesome. Because I think we all would do the same thing. If we had $500,000 where, Mike, you got to hit 2 plays on Coaching Company and you trigger a 500,000, I mean, you'd go nuts about that.
You just saved 500,000, Coach.
How about 500? We'd go nuts. It's so super awesome when this happens. All right, in Tennessee, or in the Tennessee game, Tony Pollard, who is one of our best bets today, I believe by DG, I think. He's got some big-time incentives on the line. Big-time incentives on the line. So he needs 66 rushing yards or 2 rushing touchdowns to trigger $450,000. Mikey, he could get both here if they decided to really load up on him.
Yeah, and I hate to go against wanting a player to earn money. I just don't see
Ooh.
Tony Pollard at definitely not 2 touchdowns. But you're playing a Jaguars defense that still somewhat has something to play for, as we mentioned, going into the playoffs with momentum. So I could see the Jaguars really focusing in on Tony Pollard. I could see him ending at like 43, 44 rushing yards.
Well, I will say this, that the last 4 games for Tennessee, he has gained north of 85 rushing yards in every single game. So, Raphael, do you agree with Mikey, or uh, do you agree with Mikey?
No, I do not agree with Mikey because his last 5 games, he's almost averaging 100 yards per carry. I think he gets to 66. No way he gets to 2 touchdowns. He's only had 3 touchdowns, I think, all season long. So I don't see him get the 3 touchdowns. But I think the average, yes, Jacksonville's playing for something, but they're not the best team for running backs or they're stopping the run game. I like Jacksonville to let this guy get his incentives.
Yeah, they've allowed points this year. They've allowed yards this year. Jacksonville is not a defensive juggernaut. I think they're a very, very good football team. And I think we're all sleeping on them when you're talking about some of the favorites in the AFC. They just went to Denver and absolutely rolled the Broncos. So I think Jacksonville and Liam Cohen will want to continue that momentum and play really, really well today. Uh, we just got for some reason my chat isn't working on my computer. But M Heaton is here. M Heaton says, "Hi, Coach. I'm here from Coach and Bro to see if y'all are any good at betting." Wow, that's pressure, boys. We got pressure coming over from our other brand every Monday and Thursday. Monday 5 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday 11 a.m. Eastern time on the Stadium Network. Maybe we have others, Mikey, coming over from the Coach and Bro show. Do you feel any added pressure now?
No, the thank you letter will be in the mail from M. Heaton. We look forward to it.
Wow.
Oh, I
Wow.
had to bet CM Punk for Monday Night Raw. You can bet those odds for the first Monday Night Raw of 2026.
There's so much wrestling content right now. So much wrestling content right now. And sometimes I feel like I'm the puppet master. So much fun to mess with wrestling fans. All right, gentlemen, a couple others that we're not graphically going to support, but defensively, Von Miller needs 1 sack for $500,000. He's had at least 1 sack in 3 of 4 games. Mikey, does he get that today?
Well, with Tanner McKee, who I'm actually all in on today, I do believe Von Miller could get it, but it's only going to be on a 3rd down, Coach. Dan Quinn would be telling a lie if he's got him in on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. Like, let's just play the passing down, Dan. Let's let Von Miller do what he's done his entire career. He'll know how to get to a young quarterback. Von Miller cashes today.
So whenever you're talking these sack, because we got so Garrett does not have one in Cleveland, but he can break the all time record. So Raphael, whenever you see a defensive incentive, and we saw it with Brett Favre, and who was it back in the day?
Strahan.
Strahan, Michael
Yeah, it
Strahan.
was Michael Strahan, and we all know he did it on purpose. Now, I always say, in 20 years, nobody's going to care. Nobody cares about that, and it's been 20 some odd years. So, is Von Miller going to be gifted this today? Or if it's a backup quarterback, will the backup, who Mikey has as a best bet, not know any better?
I'd give Tanner 500,000 to avoid the sack today than giving Von Miller, who doesn't need the 500,000. He's been in the league for like 30 years. He doesn't need the 500,000. Yes, he's got 4 sacks in 6 games. But I don't think he gets it.
You don't think he gets
Nope.
it?
Nope.
Okay. There's another one that's a feel good as well on the defensive side of the ball. He's played for 35 years, it seems like. Calais Campbell. Do you guys see his incentive? He needs 1 sack also, just like Von Miller, for $500,000. He has not had 7 or more sacks in a season since 2018. And if he gets 1 today, he would get to that number. He's a guy that's beloved. I believe he's retiring after this year. Is he not? He's announced that, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yes?
I believe he is. Yes.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool, Mikey, for him to get that today?
Yeah, the one thing on the sack incentives, though, Coach. Let's hope they all Von Miller, Calais Campbell talk to their teammates. Hey, if I'm in the backfield, no one get near the quarterback. What you don't want to have happen is Calais Campbell wraps up, and
Oh,
then some rookie
Half a
comes in
sack.
and goes over the
half a
top, and they're like,
sack.
half
Yeah.
a sack.
That's the worst. Can you imagine 6.5 instead of 7? I mean, crazy. I don't I don't know why I'm just not tired of that yet because I know everybody else is.
In my world, coach, I use the word 6'7" all the time. So for me, it's hard. I try not to say it, but in my world, those are the two common numbers.
It's amazing how often we say it because
Yep.
I found myself also saying the same thing. My dad's a minister, and so I was home for the last week. Thank God, I love my family to death, but it's so nice to be back in the friendly confines. And apparently, there's a lot of Jesus memes out there because
Oh,
Jesus always walked around like this.
that's why I didn't see one.
That's very true for you. Very true for you. But my dad, he thought he was so cool. My dad's 80, had a heart transplant 7 years ago. He's just lucky to be alive. Everything's a joke to him now. He's like, man, I'm living on borrowed time, and he loves the Jesus 6'7" memes. Loves them. I'm like, Dad, you
Hilarious.
either got to deliver them the right way or don't deliver them at all. Please, Papa
Does he do
Coach,
this when
don't
he
do
says
that.
it?
He does. It's
Ah,
so awkward.
that's
It's so
great.
awkward. He does. He does. But his my nieces and nephews now live in the same town as him, so he gets to see the kids all the time. So he's
Oh,
trying to
cool.
be the cool granddad. I said, Dad, it's not working. It's not working for you. All right. We've got to do our best bets recap and then get the hell out of Dodge and enjoy Week 18 together. A reminder: Monday Night Grind. It's over. Now, guys, here's the question. We announced that it's over. I'm watching the 2 games on ESPN yesterday. I did not realize there is a Monday night playoff game. Did you guys know that?
Yep. He did last year.
Well, as I'm broadcasting that we're not going to do the show anymore, why would you not then, Raphael, say, hey, coach, oh, by the way, there's a Monday night playoff game?
Because you do like 1,000 shows a day. I didn't want to add. And I mean, me and Mikey could do it if you're doing 1,000. I would love to do
No,
Monday
I'm
night
not
playoff game.
to bring it to my attention, just to let me know, and then I can decide if we're going to do a Monday night grind.
You're so smart. I thought you already knew.
It's a very, very good point by you. Okay, I'm going to let that one slide.
Like that
All
one,
right.
Mikey.
It's big time kiss up mountain right there.
The gate with it, Raphael.
All right, we have 13 best bets. If we go 10-3, we will have a very lucky winner on Monday's Wheel of Doom. So, without further ado, Raphael, let me start with you. Let's go back through our best bets. What do you got?
Going with the best game in the 1:00 game, the Falcons Saints. Give me the Falcons -3 by the half a point. You will thank me later because this one's going to be an easy win. Big game for Cousins, Robinson, and Pitts. I think that's the reason why Atlanta wins today. And then give me the Steelers +3.5. Pump your brakes, people. We'll see a 4, I think, in this one, maybe even a 4.5 weight because the public's going to bet the Ravens as long as Jackson is going to be at QB. So I like the Steelers plus the 3.5.
And if you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do it these 2 games, Saints Falcons. I think it's going to be a wide open game. Neither team is playing for a playoff spot. I think they'll be ultra aggressive. I think Kirk Cousins is going to want to show out. So let's go over 43.5 -110. And then late in Las Vegas, Chiefs and the Raiders. Both teams, their offenses are terrible. My Chiefs, we're on our 3rd quarterback of 2025/2026. We will not get to 37. So let's cash the under in that game. Mike P, give me your 4.
I'm on Bijan Robinson over 127.5 rush and receiving yards. He needs 145 yards from scrimmage to become the 3rd ever running back to have 2,400 yards from scrimmage. I like him to do that. Cowboys -3.5. No matter who the quarterback is, whether it is Dak Prescott or backup Joe Milton, who I'm actually very impressed with. I think the Cowboys cover in this one. And then Aaron Rodgers over 206 passing yards. Even without DK Metcalf, I think they will throw the ball all over the field against a very vulnerable Baltimore defense. And then Tanner McKee, the backup for the Philadelphia Eagles. The NFL world will know Tanner McKee by the end of today, and it's simply because he cashed a ticket over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
All right, Philadelphia, maybe you'll find your next quarterback, or some other team will find their next quarterback based off of how he plays. Then Soupy and DG also sent in 5 total plays today. DG, Tony Pollard over 67.5 rushing yards, minus 112. We just talked all about Tony Pollard and what he needs. 4 straight games of over 85 on the ground. Hollywood Brown of the Chiefs, anytime touchdown of plus 350. And then Soupy, he's got the Bears minus 3.5. Buy the half a point, people. Buy it. Bengals, buy the half a point, people. Buy it. And then Jaylen Warren, 2+ receptions at minus 139. All right, boys, it is time for our final takes as we head into week 18. Mikey, I'll start off with you.
Coach, I'm really hoping we see some NFL history today with Myles Garrett breaking the sack record the right way. The good news for Myles Garrett, well, he's playing the Bengals offensive line, which is as good as Walmart security. So I'd like to see Myles Garrett break that record. But there's also a sad part to week 18 in the NFL, and that is already the rumor mill of head coaches. Doesn't sound like Pete Carroll, Kevin Stefanski, and possibly others will be back with their teams. And could Phillip Rivers actually get an NFL coaching job? Week 18 brings so much intrigue. If your season is ending, no, it's not. Let's have some fun and enjoy week 18.
By the way, to one of those points, I saw him all over TMZ last night, the former running back for the Ravens. He was an all-pro. What's his name? Anyway,
Hulk?
No, if you said it, I would remember it right away. But basically, he was doing an interview on TMZ Sports, and he said that he believes that John Harbaugh is coaching for his future in Baltimore. Over 20 years, it's kind of ironic that you've got coaches on both sides of the field tonight that are both on the hot seat for franchises that never fire their head coach. And that's why they're on the hot seat now. I think 2 decades should be the limit if you're coaching an NFL team. It really should be. Let's be honest. It's not college. But anymore, they're not staying in college either. All right, Raphael, final take. Go.
Everyone knows I have the AFC to win the Super Bowl at minus 2.5. The reason why I'm saying it's because last night Seattle's win, last time they were number 1 seed 3 times, they went to the Super Bowl all 3 times. So does that mean the Seahawks are going to represent the NFC? So I'm going to be really focused today on the NFC teams. Could someone knock down the Seahawks? Because that defense looked really, really good last night against the 49ers. I'm really intrigued with some of these NFC teams that are playing today.
Yeah, I am too. I think today's going to be really, really exciting. I think it's going to be more exciting than I think normally in Week 18 we have. I think whether it's the incentives or it's the seeding or it's the winner-take-all tonight on Sunday Night Football, I think these players have pride. And I think these players want to be as high as they possibly can as far as playoffs are concerned, or just leave on a really, really good note. I think there's this overwhelming feeling, at least this is the feeling I have, guys, that there's a lot of players who are coming to the end of their careers, like a Travis Kelce, and they're starting to feel that. And they're starting to say, what's next for me? And I think tonight they want to go out, or today, go out on a winning note, or a positive note, or a high energy note. I really, really do. We'll be back for the Sunday morning show throughout the playoffs. Neither one of you, don't even suggest Saturday. Do not even suggest it. Because we are
If the Bears were playing on Saturday, could we do a Saturday show?
I'll do one with you, Mikey, if you want.
What's wrong with you two? What is wrong with you two?
We like the grind. We like the grind. That's what we enjoy, the research, the grind, and we do it for the people.
Do you want to do the work?
No, I do not. No, I do not. I do not. I've never thought that we'd ever have a show that is if necessary. That's usually when you're talking about series, if necessary. Bears, if necessary, we'll do it if they play. All right. We'll talk about it. We always do. We're a team. All right, gentlemen, well done. Great season. Great regular season by you guys getting up every single Sunday morning. So, producer man, give me that one shot. It's now time for you to go out into the world. For you guys to pay it forward. Enjoy your final Sunday before everybody really gets back into the work week. We've got some exciting things coming up, not only with this brand, but also Coach and Bro as well. And we will roll those things out as soon as we possibly can. But we did want to thank you before the season even starts for all of you who find us every single day, whether it's the Chat Queen, whether it's JC, Abass, M. Heaton. You guys are amazing, and you've allowed us to have a good foundation, a good first year, but now it's time to take it to that next level, and that's exactly what we plan to do. So in the meantime, for today, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets. It feels good to be back in the seat, straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all. My numbers guy, Rafael Esparza, Mikey P, and producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day and every single Sunday, right here on Coach and Company. Good luck today.